because there's been a lot of news going on, a lot of reports, a lot of updates, a lot of rumors, a lot of innuendo. Tell me what's true and what's not true. News reports say that Donald Trump used the N-word on set during season 1 of The Apprentice when talking about you. My understanding was, according to the reports I've heard and some of my sources, that Donald Trump, there's a tape somewhere of Donald Trump saying why you could not have been the winner, why they chose Bill over you in season 1 of The Apprentice was because Donald Trump didn't believe that a Black person would be accepted by America as the season 1 winner. And so what he says on tape is, something to the effect of, I don't know if America would accept a nigger as the winner of The Apprentice. Tell me what's true. Tell me what's not true. Tell me what you know. Tell me what you heard.
I can tell you straight up, one, he didn't say it to my face. So let's be very clear about that.
I already know that.
Yeah, I mean, let's look. Look, I get my lift on for a reason like everybody else. And so he didn't say it to my face, number one. And number two, I'm not sure if it was ever said or not. My gut tells me it was said, but I don't have evidence of the tape. And I don't know a direct story from that producer other than what he told me. Now, Bill Pruitt, the producer that wrote this article, is a friend of mine, and he was one of the good guys on the set. Was always cool, but he's not getting any kind of Profiles in Courage award for coming 20 years later and saying something that we kind of all knew was happening during the course of the process.
Let me pause you for 1 second, just for clarity's sake. He signed an NDA, right?
I know, but see, I'm not even going to let people off on the NDA. And
I just want the audience to know what the story is.
Yeah, an NDA is a non-disclosure agreement.
NDA's up, and now, like you said, 20 years later, he's like,
20 years later. My thing is, look, I talked about like this for Memorial Day and the Medal of Honor, right? Do they give Medal of Honors for the people who hide behind the machine gun and are afraid to charge the hill? Or do they give Medal of Honors, Profiles in Courage for people who go after that hill and the machine gun? A profile in courage is someone who, in the moment, makes a decision to their own peril so that they can do something for the greater good. And what Bill did, and this is not about Bill, but what he did was he kind of held that back for 20 years, something that once again was material to the election. Material to how people thought about Donald Trump, material to, my personal case. And so it's like, for me, Bill's no hero. I'm glad he came out and said what he said, but he's no hero. And then for the other piece is all this stuff to me doesn't even matter. Cause like whether I won or not, The Apprentice, 20 years ago, that's not the problem. The problem is the downstream effects that have been created by putting Trump in the position that we put him in. The fact that we have excused his racism has made everybody much easier to talk about, rolling back DEI, changing history, cutting back funds for minority groups. All those things have come about because Trump has made that environment more okay to do that. And that's the part that hurts my heart. The part that the downstream effects of all this, not whether I won The Apprentice or whether he held me back from a show.
Yeah, I mean, and look, you're wildly successful. You've gone on to be a star, and the people who won The Apprentice, some of them I ain't never heard of again. So I'm not worried about who won The Apprentice. I guess, and I think you're right on the money with everything you just said. Did you see anything on The Apprentice while there that would make you think that Donald Trump was racist?
Well, look, I mean, we didn't spend like a whole lot of time with him other than in the boardroom, other than when he'd come on set during tasks, etc. So he never said anything like super out of the way to me. But I could tell he was uncomfortable around people who weren't white males, like people who weren't normal world, like just in terms of like how you interact with people, how you put your arm around someone and talk to them, whether you're able to have banter with them, casual conversation. He was just very stilted because he didn't really know how to interact, especially with somebody like me who had come from Wall Street, come from Harvard Business School, had more credentials than even he had. And he felt like, where's this guy coming from? He's a unicorn, a unicorn Negro, like Barack Obama used to be perceived. And it's like, I got to be threatened by him. Is he out to get me? Da-da-da. So there was definitely a lot of stilted energy around how we interacted. But he never said anything out of the way to me because it wouldn't have gone down like that.
It wouldn't have went the way he wanted it to.
No.
Rebecca, when you hear about all this, Donald Trump allegedly using the N-word on the set of The Apprentice, when you hear about Donald Trump, potentially saying and doing other things, Omarosa's also said things before, about Donald Trump. What does it surprise you? Does it throw off your vision of him?
Now you know it don't. Okay, I'm not the one to ask the question because yes, great question, Mark. And for me, no, it does not surprise me. this is Donald Trump's experience, and I'm sorry, Kwame, that you probably had to go through that, but I understand like you ain't the one to play with. Omarosa, she played there for a second, and then she was like, "You can't try me." When they allegedly threw her out on the lawn at the White House, they you know, no more access for that card to get in. She was outside. She can't even get in anymore.
Yeah.
And
the
she had to come home.
The black card.
Exactly. And then she had to come home, and people was looking at her like, "Now Omarosa, we remember." But you know, other than that, though, you know, Donald Trump. If people all say something about him that they, you know, they're black and their experience with him has always been, as black people, has always been strange, has always felt, you know, a little racist, not a little racist, a lot racist. It's the same man that when he got elected, so many of your favorite doctors, your favorite lawyers, all those people started, you know, they now are coming to work with the hoods on, you know, like this is what he created. People were out there. Remember Charlottesville, people were holding up, you know, tiki torches in the name of Donald Trump for what? No, nobody understands. But this man, if he can do that, if he can bring together what happened on January 6th, whatever them people are saying that was their experience, and he said it. He said it.
It walks like a duck.
Talks like a duck. That's what it is. Quacks like a duck. Quack. That's what it is.
Quack.
Right.
That's what it is.
All right, yo, I appreciate y'all, man, for coming through. I'm gonna tell you one more thing. In July, we got the sentencing.
Okay.
And when the July sentencing happens, y'all gotta.
That's gonna be a party, man.
No,
People are
gonna be a party.
I have my wine on that night. It's gonna be a party because he better get something on his little ankle. It's already fragile.
It
got
is.
Like 10 years left on his life.
Straight up pool party.
Right.
Oh my God. I cannot wait for that, yo.